I made it to the highest level. I beat everybody. I've always known I could beat everybody. No one will, even if they think they beat me, because in my mind, I'm the fuck. And that's what I want to teach you. That's what I want to teach everybody. I want to teach everyone that that's what's holding them back, is that they're not their biggest fan. They're in the room, they walk in the room, they say, there you are.
Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some snack habits. Bye. Let's get to that intro. Wes Watson again. Say it ain't so, Gunner. It's so. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell off. Hey, put it on all. I'm trying to tell you guys right now, or you're not going to be notified of the dope content that I'm kicking. That's just the way it is. A lot of people don't listen to that advice when I say put it on all. If you want to get notifications from all the great content creators, people that you follow, then your notification bell has to be on all, or YouTube will automatically put it on none or personalized. Just a little game. Hey, I'm giving you game, not giving up game. Welcome back to the channel. I'm very humbled, and I'll say this, right? I got told yesterday, damn, Gun, you're trying to pay rent off Wes Watson. Indubitably. Absolutely. Hey, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm definitely going to put out there the latest and greatest news when it's concerning someone who stole some valor when it comes to prison, right? When we had to go through all the bullshit of Wes Watson's lies over and over again, daily, every day, he kicked some dope content that a lot of people sucked up with the super straw. Well, guess what? Now it's time to expose that truth, to expose them lies. Now it's time to let you guys know what's happening with everyone's favorite convict and character, Wes Watson. So here it is, Friday, and here we go again. Now, what's the latest news on Wes Watson? Well, I'm going to tell you guys, his case just took a dramatic turn. It just went all bad very fast. Yesterday, I did a video saying Wes Watson's losing everything. Hey, if he wasn't losing his sanity yesterday, he definitely is today. Because what happened was a big, big step in the legal system. Wes Watson, his charges have now been trumped. I'm not bombing no one. I'm just saying this. Wes Watson's case now has moved from family courts to criminal courts. And what does that mean? That means now his girlfriend, even if she wanted to, even if for some reason she was paid off, or even if for some reason she had a change of heart and decided she doesn't want to let little old 5'2" Wes do time, and she wanted to recant or change her story, it's no longer in her hands. It is now in the district attorney's hands. And based upon case factors, based upon the criminal history, the assaultive behavior of Wes Watson, and the preponderance of evidence, all these videos, all these things, not videos that other people have made of him, but actual factual videos of himself, you know, displaying criminal activity or saying what he would do to a person. Well, that's going to get you in the boo-boo, right? Not that he doesn't like things in his boo-boo, because that was his claim to fame, 128 G's in the boo-boo, right? Well, let me tell you something about the boo-boo. And no, Tommy Gun Soul Gang, I'm not talking about the boo-boo. I said the boo-boo, right? Wes Watson is in trouble because that means everything is intensified. It is now in criminal courts. Now, there's difference in courts. You got traffic court. You got the family division. Okay, that's usually when two individuals, a mother and a father, are fighting for custody of their children, or there's some type of technicalities that are going on within that family dynamic. And usually family courts will handle that. And then you got and usually they handle a lot of domestic issues between husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends, because it's a domestic issue when it's within the household and when it's within family, right? Now, when it becomes a criminal case, that means they're looking at it from a different angle. That means the district attorney is trying to go hard in the paint, trying to lay down a demo and make an example. Criminal cases are much, much worse than the family court system. Now, that doesn't mean family court doesn't mean nothing, because when you're fighting for the rights to your child and you're fighting for the safety and security of your children, that's definitely a big thing in a parent's life. You know, when you're going through a domestic violence issue, and believe me, man, I've seen real domestic situations and with my own eyes, and I've seen situations where someone tried to put a jacket on someone because they can't have them. And so their whole thing is, if I can't have you, nobody will. So what's the first thing they do? They run to the police. They say, hey, they put hands, feet, and bit me, right? They did the puka on me. And next thing you know, you're locked up or you're getting served to go to court in the family division. Now, that doesn't mean the family division don't rock and roll, but I'll say the criminal division is much more different. So yesterday, they decided, the district attorney decided, the judge decided to change venues, basically, to change it from a family court case to a criminal court case. That means Wes Watson is in trouble. That means the district attorney is now in the driver's seat. See, beforehand, Wes Watson's girlfriend could have easily recanted her story, said that she changed her mind, and they could have dropped charges against Wes. Now, I wanted to jump into a few different things because there was a few different people that got at me yesterday with a few good ideas and some good, well, a lot of the people were like, hey, they're backing Wes up. They're like, what if this? What if that? What if this? Well, I'll tell you what if. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Straight up. E40 said that shit. Here's the first what if question I got, and it's a pretty good one. What if Wes Watson beats the 7-foot monster case? Does he get out on the next case, and is he able to fight it from the streets based upon he did post bail? And if he does beat that case, there will be no revoked bail. There will be no revoked probations. There will be no revoked any of that. So wouldn't he be able to get out? The simple answer is yes, absolutely. Being that these cases are separate, right? And Wes Watson was charged in different counties on this case. Wes Watson was given, granted, and did post bail $115,000. I think it breaks down to $11,500, right? Or whatever the case may be. But being that he did post bail on these criminal charges, if he was to go to court in the next month or two and did beat the 7-foot monster case, that's the assault in the gym with him and Dumbbell Rob and a belt buckle and a whole bunch of N-words and a big old brother man that looked like Rocky Dennis from Mask, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, even Sam Elliott would be like, damn, boy, that's some shit, right? And I'm telling you, and it ain't Tombstone. He got Tombstone, though, a couple times. If he was to beat that case, okay, and still, the way I'm looking at it, it might not be hard to beat that case because a birdie told me yesterday that being that Wes Watson has this new case, they can't utilize this case against Wes Watson. Meaning they can't, if Wes Watson was willing to take this to trial, they cannot use his pending charges in another county against him. The district attorney can't even mention that. Okay, that's against the rules and against the law for them to even mention that he has an ongoing pending case for beating on a woman and robbing her. Okay, so let's go back to square one with this first case. If he is able to finagle, bamboozle, slip and slide his way up out of that situation, then yes, the answer absolutely is he would immediately get out on bail for the next case because he's already made bail. That means that 6th charge that came up the other day, the one that says basically he's got another charge for violation or for, they revoked that bail, that would be dropped automatically because there would be hold no bearing to the next case because he would not be guilty of the other case. It'd be like a clean slate. Now, he still does have his criminal history in California, the assault, the home invasion, the robbery. He would still have that. But what we were told in the first case is that they were not going to utilize the old California prison record, the old California charges on Wes Watson, being that it's the state of Florida. Now, I was pretty flabbergasted about that because every time I've been locked up out of state, anytime I have, they've always utilized my California record. They even used my wire record, which I knew that was illegal to use a minor record, but they were like, this man has started his criminality at a very young age, being convicted of whoop-de-wop, this and that. And I mean, the list just went on and on. And I just sat there, and I remember one time going to court and totally innocent. And look, I know criminals always say we're innocent, we're innocent. No, I was fucking totally innocent. Thought I had this one in the bag. I didn't even need my public defender. That motherfucker could have went, drank a latte, and ate a Starbucks fucking breakfast sandwich. I had this under control. There was no way, right? I was already fucking getting that chicks on the phone like, man, I'm going to be there Friday. Don't trip. And based upon my appearance, my tattoos, and my criminal history in California, which had no bearings to this case that I knew I was going to beat, they fucked around and gave me 3 years and a half, right? And the judge looked me right square dead in my soul and said, you motherfuckers from California think you're going to come up here and cause issues and problems. Well, I'm going to make an example out of you. Right? And it was all bad. But anyways, I say that to say this. If Wes Watson does beat that case, yes, he will be granted his bail because he's already paid that on the next cases, right? God dang, man. Hey, for someone that has so much money and has his shit together and is living life to the fullest and doesn't drink and doesn't do drugs, which we know we debunked that. He's high than a motherfucker. And right now he's Malias kicking. He's kicking like Joe Cool Camel, right? I'm going to tell you guys right now, and spitting like one too, spitting like Jay-Z. I'm going to tell you guys right now, straight up, that man sure does got a lot of issues and problems, huh? One is he can't keep a woman. One is he lost the gang money on her tits. And the third one is, hey, this dude keeps catching cases after cases. For someone who's got his shit together and is life coaching a whole bunch of people that they're paying $20,000 to $40,000 for, your coach ain't got his shit together. Your coach is like Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai. He just is a drunk, right? Look, at the end of the day, to answer that question, yes, Wes Watson would get out. Now, being that this case is criminal, it's all bad because now it's in the hands of the district attorney, and he basically calls the shots here. Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to stretch Wes Watson out, then all 5'3" of him, I gave him an extra inch this time, is going to get stretched out. Okay, this is a bad case. I know a lot of people were saying, well, if she changes her story or if she does this, why come or how come do you expect a woman to change her story? Well, she'll take money. Who said that she's offered any money? And who says that Wes Watson even has that amount of money? Because according to word on the streets, everything he has is rented. Her ring was rented. His Bugatti is rented. His pad is rented. The Red Bull in the refrigerator is rented and dented. Let me tell you something. That man doesn't have the amount of money people thinks he has. Okay? Just like Mayweather, everything isn't everything. Okay? So I'm here to tell you guys right now, with the fucking lawyers that Wes Watson will have to obtain to fight this new criminal case, it'll be all bad. See, it was different when it was in family courts. That was some domestic issue shit. That's a place where a lot of women and men, in some cases, because I've seen some men get mollywopped by big chicks, right? And thin chicks. It was amazing. But there comes a point where the woman could say, hey, you know what? I feel sorry. They have a bleeding heart. They're emotional. They figured they want him back. You know, a lot of women say things to protect their safety and their security at the time. But later on, after fucking a few phone calls and a few letters, and the guy telling them, I won't do it no more. I love you. I just love you, right? You know, they forget about the Tyler Perry movie, I could do all bad all by myself, and they want to do bad with the person. And then it's just a repeat cycle. It happens again. And you don't know how much I love you. That's why I'm choking you out, right? It's just part of that game. But I've seen a lot of women and men have gone up there and changed their story. Now, if that was to happen in the family division, yes, Wes Watson had major action of getting the case dropped. Because in the state of Florida, no victim, no case, right? And now, even though the district attorney and the judge would know, hey, man, this motherfucker right here did that, even on video, it's still up to the woman to press charges. Now, being that it's criminal, don't matter if she presses charges or not. She's asked out. So that's the next question that someone asked me. If Wes Watson paid her all this money, would she do this and do that and drop the case? Look, there's more money in it for her if she fucking goes all the way to the fucking box. If she presses charges to the fullest, there's more money because there's a thing called a civil suit. That's exactly what the 7-foot monster is doing. And if Wes Watson does have a chunk of money that he stashed away or he put away, and he does have any assets that are not rented, all those will be accounted for. And guess what? She will have a big case, especially if, like people are saying, this is on camera and Wes Watson's homeboys flipped and said, yes, this is exactly what happened. She would have a slam dunk of a case, and any lawyer would tell her so. There's more money in it for that bop to get Wes Watson's pockets and turn them inside out, rather than her dropping the case and him buying a new pair of nipples. I'm just telling you guys the truth. Because, hey, no matter what you want to think, Wes Watson is upset, angry, sad, hurt, emotional, and distraught and scared. All them emotions are going, and he blames her. She's the one that got him locked up. She's the one that called the police. She's the one that put the restraining order on him. So at the end of the day, I've seen a lot of men that sit there and say, yeah, I ain't tripping, baby, I love you. But really, this was just a woman he was utilizing to get over on Angie, right? He didn't really care about this woman. Like I said, she was possession time. She was like the new G.I. Joe with the kung fu grip, with the kung fu tits. That's all she was. You know, so Wes Watson really doesn't love her. You know, if you really know the deal, he actually, for those of you that don't know, here's some newsworthy shit. Do you know that Wes Watson actually proposed to the girl that he's locked up for right now? I think her name's Megan, right? He proposed to her on his ex-girlfriend Angie's birthday. Tell me that wasn't no motherfucking subliminal, right? So that was just a slap in the face for Angie. Basically, it was a cry. Look, I got her a 15 carat diamond ring rented, you know, but I'll get you a real one. It just is what it is. Anyways, so for those that are saying, hey, won't she get good money if she fucking drops the case on Wes? That's if Wes has even offered her anything or if he even has anything to give her. A lot of people are saying, why are you doing videos on Wes Watson? What stake do you have in it? I'm trying to pay my rent. I'm being real. You know what I mean? I ain't scared of you motherfuckers like Bernie Mac. I'm going to do what I have to do and bring you the news that I have to bring you to keep my channel rolling, right? That doesn't mean that's the only thing I'm going to talk about, but I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny that people would question why I do what I do. You know, you get a lot out of this. You get entertained. I get paid. And we help people along the way. There's a lot of gems in my videos, man. And it's up to you to soak it up. It's not up to me. I already know the shit, right? But the criminal case does make things different for Wes. And if I was Wes Watson right now, I'd be hurting. I'd be sick. He has to sit there in jail. He's got people allegedly that want to do strange things to him, bad things to him. He's got brothers. He's surrounded by brothers, man, and him being a white dude, that ain't cool. Would. Right? He's got lawyers that are telling him there's nothing we can do, Veruca. Right? There's nothing we can do. Don't care how I want to get out now. Right? I'm doing everything I can bloody do. They're doing everything. Wes Watson's going to sat his ass on that bottom bunk or top, depending upon who his cellie is. Right? And now understand that it's now a criminal case and the district attorney is going to go for the CB4, for the gusto. For the straight up gusto. Wes Watson is literally, sincerely in trouble, man. And it's just amazing to me to see someone that came from a background like Wes Watson, someone who at one point in time was a real one. The character he created became the monster that we see. And now he's going to be a broke shell of a man, locked up and incarcerated far from home without the fucking heels to click, Toto. You can't click your heels 3 times and go back to San Diego. He is now stuck in a foreign land, a foreign county, and he has to deal with those politics. Imagine being in prison for, he did 7.5 years. 7.5 years in Oklahoma and Arizona and the 2 yards in California, right? And you understand the California system. You're able to wiggle, right? And then you get to Florida and everything is different. Politics for the woods are different. For the blacks are different. There's heart checks. There's all these different things that Wes Watson talks shit about and woof that he's this alpha male that could beat anyone up, including women, obviously, right? And now he's going to have to face his demons. He's going to have to face that motherfucking yard. And let me tell you something right now. For anyone who's never been through that, I'll explain to you. I have, personally. You've done everything, Gunner. I was a criminal. I did a lot, right? I had to go out of state to do time. I caught a case. And let me tell you guys something. When I got to that yard, I was the only Norteño on that yard. The only Norteño that had ever been to that particular prison up until that point. Now I hear they got Northerners and all that over there, but I was the only one. And let me tell you something, how I felt. You know, it's crazy the feeling when you go to a prison yard and you know everybody's looking at you. Everybody knows what you are. Everybody knows what you represent. You got to stand and die on that shield. You got to do what you got to do. And the whole yard is filled with the opposition, with your enemies, right? And you're thinking, well, fuck it, man. My indigenous people got me, man. I got a lot of love for the natives, man. I've showed them a lot of love in the past. You know, these dudes don't know you from a bowl of fucking soggy cereal, but I sat at their bleachers and they all got up and walked away and said, fuck you. My heart sunk. I thought I was truly dead. I was able to take flight and escape out of that situation, right? But at the end of the day, and believe me, it wasn't that easy. I had to get off and I had to get off and I had to get off and I had to keep doing my thing to eventually be transferred out of that prison. But I will say this, I did what I had to do. Wes Watson's going to do what he has to do as a grown man, you know? But to tie this all up, being that they moved it from family to the criminal division, it's game over for Wes. I'm willing to bet anything and everything that man goes to prison, unfortunately. You know, hey, that's what happens when you hit women. You become a piece of shit, even more so than he already was. All 5'4" of them. I squeezed in another inch for him. Give him an inch. Get about the inch. He has nothing right now. Give him an inch at least. An inch, a hard-boiled egg, an apple, a peanut butter pack, and one of those Kool-Aids that says saltpeter. It's all bad. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. Now, the haters, go ahead and hate. He's trying to capitalize off Wes Watson. Hey, absolutely. This video is sponsored by Barrio Liquors out there in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the area, pull up to the Central Valley in Turlock and go get you something cold to drink and tell them Gunners Collective TV sent you, or at least mention me. You'll be all right. Also, by Sticks and Stones Yard Service in Tucson, Arizona. If you live in the Tucson, Arizona area and you need your yard hooked up, let's support and help small local raza businesses, especially someone who does such a good job like Sticks and Stones. And there we go. Bang, bang.